Hey, happy Sunday. How are you? Did you all miss me on Wednesday? This is going to be a long one. I guess maybe I should have did one half and half on Wednesday, but that's it. We're going to do it on Sunday. Have a few things, a few links we're going to talk about this week. The first one is Lidl on Long Island, and retailers, in order to compete, had to drop their prices about 15%. There was an article about how citrus demand has kept up through the summer and actually has exceeded last year's or the average by about 50%. And then I also put a link. I'm sorry, I don't have the link for that, the citrus article. I couldn't find it. And then I have a link about the 9 or 10 fruit and vegetable items that are high in vitamin C. What do these all have in common? It's the story. Now, you've heard me talk about the story in the past, and I'm going to rehash a couple of them. Some stories are real good, some stories not so good, some stories are outside lies. One of the stories that come to mind for me is when I was living in New Jersey, I went to XYZ major chain store, and they had beautiful signs of all their local farmers. Now, you're familiar with New Jersey, a lot of local farmers in New Jersey, just like in any other state, right? And they had some farmers up there. And then they had ABC International Company as one of their local farmers on the sign. Why? Because that international company had an office in Delaware. It's not a local, so here's, I said that the first time I talked about the story the first time. Companies only tell you things to make you feel good and to make more money. Just take that to the bank. Another thing, hey, I'll give you an example. You know those, they say, oh, would you like to put $1 for this charity or that charity? There's nothing I like better than giving. I am a charity machine. I love giving to everybody, but I don't do that. Why? Because unless they're going to match it, what do companies do? They take your money, right? And then guess what? They give a charitable deduction. And the charitable deduction is not from you. It's from them. Again, it's a way to make profits. It makes it like they're doing something good. But, I mean, they're doing something good. But they're using your money and they're getting the benefit. But let's talk about some good stories. What do you know about citrus? High in vitamin C, right? You've heard that story over and over and over again. And that's why during this pandemic, citrus is moving because people know it's high in vitamin C. And a lot of the experts said, take zinc and vitamin C. I take a vitamin every day. So people are stocking up on vitamin C. And I think at the detriment of stone fruit, which usually this time of year, I love stone fruit. I can't wait for this time of year. But that's the problem with our industry. We don't tell the story. And I've said this about a lot of times with the PMA. The PMA spends much too much time promoting us to each other, and that they need to promote us to the consumer, because that's really what's important, because when the consumer buys, we all do better. That's why I put the 9 or 10 vegetables that have just as much or more vitamin C's than oranges or citrus. So you could learn something by that, because this is what your produce managers, again, I always have a theme of this, right? This is what your produce manager, educated produce guys, are supposed to be doing in your stores to increase production of produce, right? They're supposed to be telling the lady, oh, miss, I noticed you have your orange. Why are you buying for the vitamin C? Hey, do you know mangoes just has more vitamin C's than an orange? Oh, papayas, pineapples. So this is a way to sell more produce. That's what you're missing. That's what you've been missing for the last 20 years, when you took produce managers out and you replaced it with $9 an hour guys that don't know anything about produce. Box in, box out. That's not selling produce. Another thing that I've always talked about is produce competition is not only with other produce or other grocery items, it's it's again, I always use the macaroni and cheese. You could buy the macaroni and cheese and feed a couple of kids for 99 cents, or you're going to buy a head of broccoli for $2.99. Some people have to make that choice. So you're going to lose that battle because again, I wrote that article a couple of years ago about produce as a luxury item. People when people tighten their belts, there's very few places to cut down. You got to pay the mortgage, you got to pay the electric. So food is where they cut down. So you have to make that a factor. That is a big factor in families' budgets, right? So how you have to change the story is talk about nutrition per dollar. Maybe that's the answer, because the man or woman that's shopping for their family, when given the choice of, yes, this is cheap, but this is more money, but it's better for my kids, you might win that battle. It's a much easier battle to win than just dollars and cents and calories per dollar. It's just a much easier battle. So why don't you go for it? Again, it's always about the story. No matter what you do in life, you have to make it appetizing. Marketing 101. Okay, I got to tell you about a great book. I want everybody to read this book, Sacred Cow by Robb Wolf. Let me tell you something about Robb Wolf. I'm 63 years old and probably could lift more weights or outrun a lot of you guys half my age. Robb Wolf was a big contributor to that about, 8 or 10 years ago. I was into CrossFit. I was CrossFit certified, all that stuff, and Robb Wolf was there. And then I went to one of his seminars in Brooklyn just before his first book came out and changed my life. I was paleo, now I'm keto, and guy's a smart guy. It's amazing. I follow him. It's amount of stuff that he reads and knows, it just boggles my mind. And he became a friend. This book may be a roadmap for us in the produce industry because we all know our soil is getting depleted. Why don't you read the book? And no, I don't get any money for this. I just think it's a great book. I'm not even through it all the way, but it's might give you some ideas about how we could save ourselves and save the planet. Okay, a little more housekeeping. Michael DeRenis, formerly of Benny Farm, in case you went to his email and it says he's retired. He's not retired. He's working for Top Cats. Welcome aboard, Michael, and I'm sure you'll be very, very, very successful at Top Cats, and I'm happy to have him. And let's see, what else we're going to talk about? How about markets? Okay, week of the twos. You know how I feel there. I'm only going to talk about one item this week. The item I'm going to be heaviest with the most is red peppers. Week of the twos, you know how I feel. Retail is off, demand is off. During the pandemic, people aren't as working as much, and unemployment checks, I think, are going to stop. The federal government checks at the end of the month, so might tighten up a little bit more. There was some heat in California that should have maybe caused some problems, but right now the volume is going to be up, significantly than it has the past couple of weeks, only because there was none the last couple of weeks. So any increase in volume in supplies is significant. Basically, the market was 18.95 to 20.95 FOB. It'll be less next week. There's ads out, retail ads out there for less. But really, the big factor is going to be the week of the twos. Demand is off, and that's it. I think this market. I think the market's going to settle a few dollars lower this week. I got the best red peppers, bar none, out there. I have 3 major labels. Yeah, I know some of you guys want prime red peppers, but I got the best red peppers. So, and remember, when he's out, I have 3 labels. So that's just a little plug from Paulie. So week of the twos, increasing volume. I think that's the recipe for a lower market, and I think we got to start promoting them. All right? I think that's all for now. I'm sure when I finish this video, I say, oh, I didn't talk about this, but that's it. Read the book, okay? I think you'll like it, and that's it. Have a great day. I won't see you Wednesday. I'll see you next Sunday. Unless something really important pops up, I'll be sure to get back on here. Okay? Have a great week. Love you. Love the produce business. Take care. Be safe. Wear your mask, I guess. Right?